Hey everybody, Eric Mashinsky, crypto phenom on Sense Token app. If you want to find me after this, if you find this story intriguing. Um, I am also the editor of the goldinvestmentletter.com, eliteinvestments.com, and manage my own money, my firm's money. I've been a professional investor for 24 years. Became a stockbroker when I was 21. Did that for 16 years, then became an entrepreneur. All along the way, I've continued to invest in many different sectors. My background goes back. I ran a venture capital division in a fairly large broker dealer from my late 20s to early 30s, and then a few years before that and after that, did a lot of late stage venture capital investing alongside of some of the top venture capital firms in Silicon Valley, Kleiner Perkins, NEA, Benchmark, a number of the top partners' favorite deals that we basically piggybacked on there, and also was an early investor in the secondary market, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, when that was a new area of buying stock directly from employees pre-public IPO. And I continue to be an angel, what you would call an angel investor to this day, primarily in the tech sector. So even though now my main focus is on the metals and mining area and gold and silver via the Gold Investment Letter, I'm very, very active in crypto. And I've got a large, significant allocation of my own capital in crypto. It's, I believe right now, around 20% of my overall portfolio is in cryptocurrencies and blockchain related investments. A lot of that is in crypto itself, but I also consider some equity positions that I have in private and public companies to be part of that allocation. Now, when it comes to crypto, this is really a situation where if you are a successful venture capital investor and you're looking at the space, you really look at it the same way. Tokens are not equity, but they're essentially a synthetic equity is the way that I would put it. And if you don't have access to invest in a company in their actual preferred share round or common share round, Series A, Series B, early stage, the token is a real way to participate in potential growth. Now, we know that of the thousands of tokens that are out there now, the vast majority are crap. There's a ton of scams. There's some very intriguing technologies. And so what I want to talk about today, and I want to make this video less than 10 minutes, so it's going to be hopefully concise, is about what I think is the best opportunity to make life-changing gains in crypto that I've ever seen in crypto. I started to get involved seriously in Bitcoin in 2016, around $400 of Bitcoin. I've spent the last couple of years heavily entrenched in learning about the space. I consider myself, fairly knowledgeable about the landscape. I stay very on top of what's happening in the space. And so this particular idea also was the genesis of it for me was from a friend and acquaintance and business associate in New York City who is a portfolio manager. He's a very smart guy. He made a lot of money on Ethereum, started buying that at $10, sold it over 1,000. He runs money professionally in various sectors for a real asset management firm. He's a real portfolio manager. He's a real investor. And, we tend to think alike in the sense that, we can see a lot of bullshit, and we're not going to put a bunch of money into something that's a scam, knock on wood. I think we can avoid scams. Now, we can take risk and be wrong, and that's fine as long as the upside is big enough. And when he shared with me back in, I think it was in the spring, the opportunity in the Sense token, I bought some based just on, really just on his relationships and expertise, and the fact that I thought it was a good idea. But what's happened since then has made me convinced that this deal is going to be at least a 10-bagger in 2020, and it could go up as much as 500 to 1,000x if a couple of things end up happening. And that is, obviously speculation at this point, but what is the Sense token? The Sense token is an encrypted video and messaging platform that also can serve as a payment platform. Okay, so what's the difference between this and WhatsApp? The difference is that this is done on the blockchain and there's no record of the actual video or content. So it's private, which I think there's a real niche and need for in this world. So that in and of itself, I think it's a good idea. Now, that doesn't mean that this company can execute on getting any sort of adoption whatsoever. But the edge here is that the founder is Crystal Rose Pierce, who is the wife of Brock Pierce, who a lot of you in crypto know as one of the founding members of Block One. He's a big player in the space, probably one of the top 5 names in the space, and he holds a lot of sway. Now, Crystal doesn't seem like any slouch on her own. I mean, she developed this technology. There are definitely some upgrades that need to happen, but this is one of the few functional products in crypto that I think is just going to get better and better. Now, if you look at the trajectory, this is a big part of why this opportunity even exists right now. The Sense token's trading around a penny. Okay, it's like a $5.5–6 million market cap, and nobody knows about it. And part of the reason is because they were in development for a while. They got to the point where they had a working real product. Crystal got pregnant and had a baby. I believe it was around March. So really from February until around June, I think that, she was doing the new mother thing and kind of scaled back, even though there is a team in Los Angeles that works on the Sense token. It was a bit slow in the development and any sort of a rollout for awareness, and coupled with the fact that they were shifting from the Ethereum platform to the EOS platform. As you know, Block One is the main entity that is behind the EOS token, one of the most successful ICOs in history. They raised over $4 billion. They have a massive war chest, and they have what looks like a potential Ethereum killer, in the sense that there's a lot of migration that's going on from Ethereum to the EOS platform based on functionality. I'm not a techie, but I think when I can look at the tea leaves and see some of the trends that are going on, it's clear that the Ethereum development has sort of stalled for a while. They have had quite a head start. I own it. I like it. I'm going to continue to own Ethereum, but I also own EOS. And I think when you see applications that are making that migration, there's an interesting process that goes with that. But essentially, we had to convert the tokens we had purchased on the Ethereum blockchain and then had to do a migration process to get them on the EOS blockchain. And that process finished in like July. Okay, so then we've had about 2 months from since then that we've had this transition to the EOS blockchain. Now, what's really important is that the company is finally getting onto exchanges. There was no liquidity after they moved to the EOS platform. There literally was nothing. There was like one DEX, decentralized exchange, where you could trade this thing, and it went all the way down to like 0.002 cents. So it was like a fifth of a penny for a while. They finally got listed back on Bancor Network. Now that is the one exchange that I'm going to instruct you that you can actually buy this today. But I will tell you that I believe confidently they are going to be listing on a number of exchanges, and a couple of them are huge in the next 6 months, call it. Could be in the next 60 days that we see, I think, at least one big one. What's really interesting here is that Tim Draper joined the board just like a month ago. Draper is one of the biggest VCs in crypto and in traditional venture capital. His family, going back to his grandfather, was one of the first, if not the first, venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. Now you've got a situation where Draper has joined the Sense board, which I think is a massive coup at this stage of their development. This guy's not a joker. He is the real deal. He bought all the Silk Road Bitcoin from the US government for $30 million. They manage a lot of money. He's a very big player in the space. That's a great sign. You've got Crystal, whose husband is Brock Pierce with Block One. And now what I think the big coup is here, and the reason that I'm speculating that this could be a 1000x token, is that EOS, or on the EOS blockchain, Block One is launching the Voice social network, which will go, they say, go up against Facebook. The problem is that, now with all these centralized platforms and the restriction of different voices, which is why they called it Voice, depending on which way you lean politically or what you have to say, you could be banned, you could be shadow banned. And so Voice is going to be a decentralized social network and platform that operates without a centralized entity collecting your data. You can use tokens to end up tipping, content creators and people that you follow. It's going to be sort of an organic situation that is a great idea, but again, doesn't guarantee that there's going to be any traction. It looks like this video is going to go a little closer to 12 to 13 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up and try to wrap up in the next 2 minutes. But Block One has a $250 million war chest to launch Voice next year. They are going to market the shit out of this thing, and it is going to be everywhere. You're going to hear about it everywhere. They're going to get some level of traction. Now, what I'm hearing and what I think would make a lot of sense, no pun intended, is that we very well may see the Sense platform, the Sense messaging app, sort of like the Facebook Messenger of Voice, meaning they incorporate the Sense token, which would be used to facilitate transactions via the Sense Messenger for video and regular chat functions on the Voice social network. It fits. It fits in the way that Crystal and the team is tied in. It fits in the sense that why would Draper get involved unless this was going to potentially be huge? He wouldn't do it if it was just some encrypted video and regular chat system. No way. There's got to be a big vision, and a big vision that could end up making him look good for being on the board at this stage of the game. What's going to happen here? There's been some speculation online about this. There's been a YouTube video about it. There's been some news correlating, Voice and the Sense. But listen, here's the bottom line. If this is true, then my thesis is that just going into people knowing that this is real and going into the Voice launch, the Sense token will go up at least 10 or 20x. That coupled with the fact that just speculation about it, once it's on another couple of exchanges, it'll go up 5 or 10 fold from where it is today, which is like a penny, 0.012 cents. My suggestion is that you buy up to a penny and a half, what you can get to make a speculative investment in the Sense token, that if, now the upside, the blue sky potential here is that if this all ends up being true, all of a sudden you see Sense traded on a couple of one large exchange, another couple small exchanges, and then Voice is getting ready to launch, and they announce that Sense is going to be the messaging and potentially a payment platform, which would drive huge demand for the Sense token. That's going to be the baseline on Voice. Then you're going to get a lot of attention, and you're going to get a lot of attention going into the launch, and then you're going to get a ton of attention on the actual launch of the platform with a deploying of up to $250 million to gather members and drive adoption. All along the way, the Sense token is going to get some very interesting press, and I think this thing could pump immensely. Now, if Voice ends up being like a pseudo Facebook, and they even become like 20% as large as Facebook, and it's a very viable sort of libertarian conservative vehicle for social, then the Sense token could be worth billions of dollars, frankly. And it's trading for a penny, and it's worth 5 million. So you do the math, but this is the best undiscovered situation in crypto. You can only buy it on the Bancor network, which means that you have to send EOS or Ethereum to, what I've been doing is, you can send Ethereum to your Bancor.network account, and then just use the Ethereum to buy the Sense token. It will convert it for you. It'll convert it into the BNT token, which is the Bancor token, and then convert it into the Sense token. There'll be other options here, probably by the end of the year, where you can buy it. The problem for US investors is that you cannot use the Bancor network because it's Israeli, and they've banned US persons to use it because of regulatory concerns. You can get around that with a VPN. Okay, so I'm just saying you can either do it or not do it. For me personally, I'm not interested in being blocked from buying an opportunity because of regulatory fears. I'm a big boy. I know the risk. I've been doing this my whole life. I just want to buy it. If I lose all my money, and if you lose all your money, so be it. That's the risk. Okay, that is the risk. To be clear, is this is going to either potentially be a massive home run, or eventually it won't be worth anything. But in the interim, just in the sort of anticipation period, I think we can make a lot of money and take our principal risk off. So you can go to Nord, N-O-R-D VPN if you'd like to do that. It's a few bucks a month. You sign up, you click that you're located in a European country, then log into Bancor and you'll be fine. That's up to you though. If you're non-US, no problem. Go to Bancor. And I would say what you want to do with this is you want to put Sense on your radar. You want to buy a little and just keep buying it. You don't want to buy a ton right out of the gate. You'll drive it up. But you buy a few grand, you sit back, you buy some more, buy $1,000 at a time. I mean, I literally have accumulated a position of, I'm up to almost 9 million tokens. So I have 6 figures, 100,000-ish, a little bit more than that at today's price in the Sense token. It's a lot of money for me to be in a little rinky-dink shit token. So if I didn't believe it, and if you think I'm lying, at least I will show you my Sense account. I don't know if I could show you a screenshot of my Bancor because I don't have it on my phone to put in the camera, but I'll show you here. And you can find me if you download the Sense app. You can go to the Sense token or Sense app on your Google Apple Store, Google Store as well. And then here's my position on the Sense token. That's 7.27 million tokens there. And then I have another 1.6 on Bancor. So I'll probably and I'm sharing this idea. I'm not done buying yet, but I want to share this idea with some folks. And, if you happen to stumble upon it in the month of October or early November, while Sense is still under 2 cents, I think this is a really good speculation at this time. We're ahead of the herd, and there's a lot of good stuff coming. This went way over, but hopefully it was worth your while. This is Crypto Phenom on Twitter, where you can find my handle at Phenom Investors, at Phenom Investors. Give me a follow there, and I'll keep you up to date on thoughts on Sense. Thanks.